So today it's the 14th of April 2020 and I'm feeling okay.
Today is April 14 and right now I'm feeling very tired.
It is the 15th of April 2020 and I'm feeling okay, as good as I can be really.
It is the 16th of April 2020 and I'm feeling a lot better than I did yesterday.
It's the 17th of April 2020 and I'm feeling optimistic.
I'm a little bit bored because now it's holidays, I don't really have anything to do.
Because yesterday I had a really boring day just doing assignments, and so today I'm just going to take a break, I'm going to relax.
I've been fortunate enough to be able to keep one of my jobs and deemed an essential worker, which is great because it means I still have a varied amount of income coming in. And it also means that I have somewhere to spend my time because now I'm in between school and uni, which I was supposed to start in July, but now I'm not sure.
When this whole virus broke out, the severity of it didn't really hit me until school became online learning.
But yeah, this whole situation has been interesting. It's got its positives and its negatives. But I'm going to talk about the positives because, you know, I'm that kind of person. I'm not ignoring the bad stuff. I'm just trying to focus on the positive stuff.
So it's been a strange few weeks trying to adapt to this new world that we're living in, but I've found it pretty easy, pretty groovy.
Online school wasn't fun anyway, but at least it gave something to do during the day.
One thing that I really was glad that I did was I finally cleaned out my room because it's been messy for like months now. I meant to clean it out ages ago, but I never got the chance. So now that we're all locked at home, I figured, you know what, this would be a good time to do it. You can't really see it right now, but it's a lot cleaner than it was before. Just stressed me on that one.
Without the day job that I usually had and the structure that school provided with tasks where we had deadlines and they meant something, like it was going towards your ATAR, like you were driven to do it. Now I'm finding that I'm unmotivated to do things because I know I won't get something out of them. And because I'm working at night without these things to do during the day, I'm finding myself staying up after work because, you know, I'm not tired after work. Like, I've been active, I've been doing stuff, like I can't go to bed. And so, yeah, now I don't know what to do with myself, so I'm spending my nights awake and then sleeping through the day, which is, well, it's not good.
I'm a captain at my school this year and it's impacted my ability to carry out the role that I have immensely. I'd planned on making this year about my school community coming together at social events and gatherings, but obviously that's not really going to happen in the way that I thought it was going to.
So I just recently started uni and I was really excited to actually start meeting new people, actually studying something that I was really interested in, just experiencing something new that wasn't school. And, you know, I was doing all of that 1 week, and then the next they emailed all of us and said, just stay home, everything's going to be moved online. And that was kind of jarring for me because I'm a person who really likes to kind of plan out when they're going to do stuff. So I knew when I was going to watch my lectures, when I was going to do my tutorials, when I was going to take a break, study, all that. And then when everything moved online, it's all kind of messed up, so that kind of threw me off. But I eventually managed to make a new schedule, and so I'm using that now.
I've recently found that I'm super grateful for having a job because I know that so many people at the moment are out of work and are not earning the money that they need. And I feel a bit guilty for that because I don't think it's an essential for a 16-year-old to be earning as much money as I do a week. So it's just something that I've become aware of and super grateful of.
Today I slept in kind of later than usual, till about 9, and then I had breakfast just like a normal day, and then this afternoon I'm working out with my friends over FaceTime or Skype, and I'm going to work tonight because I'm an essential worker. I work in a supermarket.
The good thing is I no longer have to take the bus for an hour all the way up and then back down, so that saves me 2 hours of my day because the bus ride was really long, so now I don't have to do that, which is really good.
And I'm finding myself scared to actually go to work too because working in the hospitality industry, we're face to face with our customers, and like we only have this thin sheet of glass between us when we serve somebody, which surprises me, the amount of people coming in. And like, of course, we're upping our cleaning, making sure that we clean all like doorknobs, handles, everything the customers touch, especially like the cash register area, at least every half an hour. And it depends on like when customers come in, when we clean it, usually after each customer, because like that's how few people we're getting at night now.
Being in year 12 and having this happen hurts a lot. You know, it's supposed to be our last year of high school, and it's a crucial year of building relationships with peers and teachers. I feel like the class of 2020 has really been stripped of that.
I've had to be a lot more cautious, definitely, in this time, because I still have to work, so I still have to go out. But most of my family would be okay. They're in generally good health, but we have our grandma living with us as well, and she's getting into her late 80s, so she probably wouldn't fare too well, and she's already sick, so we're hoping none of us get it if we ever have to go out, me especially, because I'm still working.
I've also felt a bit guilty for not having the motivation to contact my friends as much as I thought I would. Like, I feel like I'm not missing them as much as I should. But then again, I'm trying to remind myself that it's okay. I think I needed a break. I think I needed some alone time. So I'm just trying to get that through my head, and I'm still friends with everyone, but like, it's hard to find the motivation to contact them or them contact me. I don't know, I'm finding it a bit weird. I think that's taught me how much I am relying on human contact to build my relationships. Like, I need to see people face to face to want to, you know, be around them and whatever.
I would say that COVID-19 has affected what I do, because I can't go and do my sport now because it's organised. I can still go to the place where it runs out of, like, I can still go to the lake, but I just can't go and do the sport, which kind of sucks, but I try and keep my training at home.
Speaking of work, the place is really tiny, so trying to avoid getting close to people is kind of hard, because the aisles are about here to here, they're about that big, and so my hand's not there, you can't see it, but it's still pretty small. No matter how hard you try, you can't really practice social distancing. It makes me worried sometimes, but luckily I don't have it right now, and I'm hoping I don't get it. I think I'd be okay if I get it, but just to be safe, I'd prefer not to.
What scares me most is when customers come in and pay with cash. Like, I don't know where that person has been that day, let alone, you know, whenever, but money is so much more than that. Like, the amount of germs spread through money alone, I'm just surprised that we're still accepting it, which is making me very nervous to still be working here. And, like, at the end of the night, we have to count up all the money when we close the store, which, although, you know, it's just another job, it's now has this bigger effect, because I don't know where one customer's money has been, let alone all of this money in the cash register. Like, who's touched it? It's so easy to spread germs that way, and I'm just so nervous that, you know, the wrong person's touched that, and like, or something. And
I'm fortunate to still have my job at the local grocery store, and both of my parents are still in their jobs. But my heart really goes out to the families whose parents can't work at the moment. I can only imagine how tough this must be.
So while I've been stuck at home, I've tried to keep up as many of my hobbies as possible. I recently got out an old piano book that I bought, and I only learnt one song from. Yeah, it was like $50 and I only learnt one song from it. So recently I started looking through it again. There were actually some really nice ones that I'm learning at the moment. I'm going to see if I can get through the whole thing, depending on how long this quarantine lasts for.
And I've been teaching myself how to use Photoshop, which is awesome. It's so much fun. It's kept me busy because it's really hard to learn. But I photoshopped my dad into Joe Exotic from the Netflix series Tiger King. But we call him Frank Exotic now. So yeah, it's a really cool Photoshop that I made.
And I also just recently looked up videos on pen twirling, because I was doing uni and I had to write some stuff down, and I just kind of wanted to learn how to twirl a pen. I'm not that great at it, but, you know, it gives me a goal at least to work towards.
I'm concerned about when it's going to be over, because if we had an end date it would be a lot easier to count down, but we don't have an end date yet. We don't know when we're going back to school and we can go back to doing everything that we're used to, so just kind of got to wait it out, I guess.
At the moment I'm actually feeling somewhat okay. I don't think I'm doing too bad. Before this whole quarantine thing started, I was doing something called Exodus 90, so it goes for 90 days. I started in February, and basically I wasn't allowed to use my phone or laptop unless it was for schoolwork. Couldn't watch movies, had to exercise regularly, have cold showers. What else was there? Daily meditation, and making only essential purchases. So that was tough, but it did prepare me for the time when quarantine hit, because if I hadn't done that, I would have taken it a lot worse, I think. So I'm grateful for that. And because I was doing all that stuff as well, my family was able to see the benefits, and so they started doing some of the stuff, but because of that we actually grew a lot closer.
I can't begin to kind of feel safe right now.
We ended up doing 4 puzzles, each of them 1,000 pieces. So that's 4,000 puzzle pieces that we looked through. And that probably doesn't seem like heaps compared to some people. Some people have probably done more. But like, yeah, it hurt my eyes at a point.
The first week of online school and isolation was probably the most stressed I've been in a while, mainly because that was the week when majority of my assessment was due, and I felt like I didn't have enough time to adjust to the change and prepare for everything. You know, everything hit me at once, basically.
We all still have work to do though, so we're a bit overwhelmed, but I think we're just doing the best with what we have and trying to look on the positive side, because my parents are still actually able to work from home, and I know that some families, you know, they're not actually able to work anymore, which really sucks. So I'm really grateful that my parents are able to keep working.
So yeah, I'm feeling optimistic because I feel like this is actually a really good time to have some alone time and to reflect and be aware of what I really appreciate outside of my house.
I think one little bit of advice that I would give to someone that I was talking to in this situation is don't let yourself stay in the same place that you were before this whole thing started. Because these sorts of situations are where people tend to grow the most, and because I don't know how long it's going to be, but this is the perfect opportunity to try and change at least one thing about your habits or your lifestyle or whatever. Because by the end of this, I think it would really just suck to look back and say I did nothing with that time that was spent in quarantine, because it's a lot of time and you can do a lot in that time. You could learn a new skill, clean your room, you could do something more productive other than binge watching Netflix, which is hard because, you know, watching movies is good, but, you know, if you find something more productive to do, you may as well do it because you'll thank yourself in the end.
But I have started running and working out a bit more at home, which has been good. I try and get outside every day just to get a bit of fresh air and not be stuck in the house.
Since that first week, I'm doing a lot better. I'm learning how to adapt to being at home all the time and taking time out of my day to clean my room properly or cook good food instead of making packet foods all the time. Anything really that makes me get out of bed.
Try changing even just your outlook on life in general, and just thinking about how these sorts of things will impact you as you get older, because I think every century has had something like this, or something like that, I don't know, but you know, this isn't the first time that isolation or quarantine has happened on such a large scale, and I would expect that all those people who went through it came out stronger in the end, so I guess don't miss that opportunity to make yourself stronger as well.
So I feel like things will be good when it goes back to normal because we'll really appreciate what's around us.
I'm so grateful that I'm safe and able to be comfortable at my own home during this time. And one major thing that I've learned is how important people are in keeping the world moving, which sounds obvious, but when you really think about how many people have been put out of jobs that work in the entertainment industry or any industry that relies on social interactions and people in general, it makes you realise how important their work is in keeping us involved with everyone in our everyday life.
So yeah, our current situation sucks, but I think it's always good to try and find something positive, because however you interpret a situation, that's eventually going to become your reality. And that was something I learned in uni, actually, so I'm actually applying my knowledge now. I'm cool. No, I'm not.